Hi, my name is Luke Harding, and I'm a current graduate student in the Mary Lou Fulton Teachers College. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about my 2018 summer practicum experience. A little background on me is that currently I work with ASU in admissions services, and I am an international admissions specialist. I spent my 2018 practicum with the Office of Financial Aid and Scholarship Services. I worked with the Corporate and Enrollment Partnership team, and I heard about this opportunity because I had a manager. We were discussing a little bit about where I wanted to spend my practicum, and he advised me, go out and look for something different, right? Get a different experience. And so you can kind of broaden your experience and your resume, and most of all, it's going to help you with the program. So he suggested that I reach out to financial aid and kind of see what kind of opportunities they had. I got connected with a woman. Her name was Melissa Heinrich. She's the director of the Corporate Enrollment Partnerships program. And yeah, I got into that position, and I got to spend over 120 hours with them over the summer, about 10 to 11 weeks with them, and I learned quite a bit. So in this video, we're going to be going over with in detail about the CAP team, what they do, and how they fit into the larger picture, and also talk about what I did in my involvement. To start off from the basics, let's understand what financial aid actually is. So financial aid is any kind of grant, scholarship, loan, or paid employment offered to help a student meet his or her college expenses. Such aid is usually provided by various sources such as federal and state agencies, college, high schools, foundations, and corporations. And I want to point out corporations because that is specifically which part of financial aid I worked in for the 120 hours. So now, what does financial aid at ASU mean? So financial aid seeks to remove barriers to enrolling by providing world-class financial aid tools to the students that they work with. Financial aid also are a group of representatives, agents, and counselors prepared to partner with students from their first class to long after graduation for financial success. And ASU students here, they have access to one of the only multi-billion-dollar financial aid operations in the country, with a diverse portfolio of need and merit-based aid, as well as loans and scholarships. Financial aid helps with students find their options, finds options that work best for them. So mostly I got to sit and observe financial aid counselors who worked in the CAP team, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about their job and their role and what they do. So the first part of their job is to provide expert information on different kind of aid programs, and especially partner with students to offer personal finance solutions and help students make short-term plans for their aid and finances, and as well as long-term. They also help administer aid. So counselors are responsible for the technical aspect of administering aid, including making decisions on what aid a student might qualify for or not, or if their GPA was not very strong and they didn't qualify for aid this semester, they break that down and explain that. And they also can go over if they're going to deny aid or not because a student was not meeting those aid requirements. And lastly, they are presenters of information, and they can be found making presentations at public events on ASU's campus, or anything that like a webinar, or most of my experience, they were talking on the phone with students and parents that were called in confused about programs, and they had some different questions. So that's their role of what they bring to financial aid. So now let's talk about why the corporate enrollment partnership team exists within financial aid. So as ASU it grows, and they have no intent of stopping their large expansion and growth. They always want to get bigger. They have the business development team that goes out and creates these enrollment agreements and partners with companies such as Amazon and FedEx and Phoenix Children's Hospital, and the largest known is obviously Starbucks and the college achievement plan, which I'll go into as well. But for an example, like for Starbucks, the university benefits greatly from the tuition and the enrollment numbers, as well as the company is going to benefit because it's going to be a really strong benefactor to offer to their employees. They're going to offer paying for school and also offer a tuition reduction. The same with reimbursement. Now, not every program has reimbursement attached to it, but many of them do. But that's where the different agreements would set those guidelines on how much they're going to pay for school and so on. So there's conditions though for these agreements. As of right now, they're all online programs. So the team that I worked with, they're all online students. There's no ground students. And basically, once that agreement has been put into stone, and right now we have about 10 active, and then there's discussion for more, obviously, someone has to manage those agreements and that aid and the tuition discount and how that gets processed. So that is the team that I work with. So once that agreement is set in place, this team oversees that agreement and helps those students making sure that they get the aid that they need for the start of the school term.
The Starbucks College Achievement Plan is a collaboration between Starbucks, Arizona State University, and you, our valued Starbucks partner, to help make the dream of a college degree a reality. Starbucks and Arizona State University are investing in you and believe in your ability to devote the time, energy, and discipline that will make you the proud recipient of a bachelor's degree from ASU. The Starbucks College Achievement Plan provides scholarships and tuition reimbursement for eligible Starbucks partners enrolled in an undergraduate program online at ASU, including business and communication, educational studies, internet and web development, business retail management, and psychology. Here's how it works. First, apply to ASU as a Starbucks partner. You can start your application on starbucks.asu.edu or by talking to your dedicated enrollment counselor. To complete your application, you will need to submit transcripts from any previous colleges you may have attended. This will help ASU determine the classes you will need to complete your degree. And the best part is, the application is free for all Starbucks partners. Second, make sure you understand all the cost of financing options. You will submit a free application for federal student aid, also known as the FAFSA. Every student in the Starbucks College Achievement Plan is required to submit a FAFSA to participate in the program. This will also determine if you are eligible for any other types of grants or aid. You also have a personal financial aid counselor who will help you navigate all of your costs and financing options. All Starbucks partners receive an automatic upfront scholarship called a CAP scholarship that covers 42% of your tuition costs. You never have to repay the scholarship. And there's more. At the end of each term, you will be reimbursed for any out-of-pocket expenses you paid for tuition and certain fees. ASU's financial aid counselors will help you build a financial plan geared towards covering all of your expenses. Next, register for your classes, get ready, and start. Your academic advisor will help you select your classes, and ASU and Starbucks have even designed a brief orientation to get you ready for the online class environment, create a personal plan to balance work, school, and life, and connect with fellow students. Now you're set up for success. It's time to focus on the rigorous and rewarding classes you are taking with ASU's award-winning faculty. Then it's off to graduation. ASU and Starbucks are focused on your success and reaching your highest potential. After you graduate, you are not required to continue working at Starbucks. You can either use your new bachelor's degree to continue to pursue your dreams as a Starbucks partner, or explore new opportunities wherever they may be. Your future is bright. Ready to get started? To get on your path to earning your degree, all you have to do is 1. Start your application, 2. Get your transcripts, and 3. Complete your FAFSA. And remember, your personal ASU enrollment counselor is there to help you with whatever questions you may have along the way. Just call 844-ASU-SBUX. That's 844-278-7289. Or visit starbucks.asu.edu.
So during my time with financial aid and the CAP team, my largest project that I participated on and was presented with was the homelessness outreach campaign. And so basically, what they wanted me to do is design a communication flow that went out to somebody that identified on their FAFSA that they were either independent homeless student or risk of homelessness or something that would have been indicated on the FAFSA that they would have been in that position. And that once again, this is only for corporate enrollment partners programs, based on those online students that fall in that terminology. So basically, I designed an email template that indicated to the student, like, hey, you checked one of these boxes, indicating that you're at risk for being homeless or you are homeless. Would you like to learn more about resources? And throughout the time that I spent with the team, they had me reach out to different departments and areas of the university and get resources. So when those students reply to the first email, they would be given a list of all the different resources that we could offer to them. Some of those resources would include local meal vouchers, and those would be like obviously for Arizona residents. We could give them directions to different food pantries to wherever they're living, because keep in mind they're online students, so they're all over the country. You could offer them bus and rail tickets. The office here in Tempe, for example, with Student Services, they offer transportation for students if they're in a bind. We could offer them local housing resources, such as like homelessness shelters or like an area where you could go and apply for a job. And then we obviously direct them always to the Federal Student Aid and Homelessness Youth that is provided by the U.S. Department of Education. They have a list of Q&As on there and different resources that they can access. Also, as an ASU student, they have access to ASU's counseling services, as well as the ASU Dean of Students, and also providing those links. So during my time, like I said, I worked on this communication flow and this template and gathering all the resources. When I click to the next slide, I'll put some screenshots of the templates that I created, that moving forward now, after I leave the practicum and I leave that position with that office, they can use that template and that communication flow and all the resources that I gathered for future students that would need those resources. So when those students contact the team and they ask about those resources, they now have a worksheet that they can pull up right away and be able to provide those resources to those students, as well as send out communications at the beginning of the semester when students submit their FAFSA, explaining all the resources and things that ASU has for those specific students. So that was my 2018 practicum in a nutshell. We got to talk a little bit about financial aid and the team that I worked with and what they do, and as well as a little bit about the college achievement plan. And my biggest project that I did with the team was creating that homeless guide and that list of resources, and also communication that's going to go out to them. If you have any questions about my experience, what I liked, what I didn't liked, feel free to email me. My contact is in the slide below. And thank you so much for listening.